Hello! It's been a while since I've had technical difficulties, but it looks like tonight is the night. So my little intro did not work, so it gives me an extra 3 or 4 minutes to chat with everyone. So welcome. Tonight's Healing by Summer. It is show number 161, believe it or not. So I'm looking to see, I did a commercial. I haven't done a commercial, I'm bad at commercials. So I did a second video commercial and it's downloading now. So I sort of think that might have screwed up my little intro, but that's okay. So, Joni, your name is somewhat familiar. Were you here? Was it last time or the time before? Or am I just making that up? So I'm just going to see who else is here. If anyone's having trouble getting in or if it's just me with my technical difficulties. So we'll see. So Joni's here on YouTube. Oh, and there's motivation. Wonderful. Is anyone accessing through Facebook? Oh, it looks like it let me post. So that's a good thing, I guess. My timer little program was supposed to have 5 minutes and it bit the dust about 3 minutes and 41 seconds. Okay, I thought your name was somewhat familiar, Joni. Oh, and there's Gina from Montana. Very cool. So tonight we'll do some individual healing. We're going to do some group healing. Some new stuff coming up, which is why I sort of did a commercial. We'll see if that works, because as I said, I'm not very good at promoting myself. I like having fun, but it would be better for me if I was busier. And so I think a commercial might help that. So we'll see. So we will start at like 10 minutes after. Oh, cool. So Minnesota has like a Fond du Lac area. Sacramento, cool. That's where Sherry's from. Okay, so Sherry's on Facebook, so that's good. Facebook is working. Sometimes I have trouble. Good, because on my end, it looked like the video is working, but that doesn't always mean it really is. So at 10 minutes, at 30 minutes, at about 45 minutes, we will start with our first healing pulse, which is a little bit of energy work. And then we will work on individual issues. And so let me get my little book. So this is my little book that I keep track of everyone, because I sort of write almost everything down for private sessions and for this. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, last month was show 160. Okay, I believe it's October 1st. So yesterday was a beautiful day in northern Minnesota. And today it felt like fall. Oh, and there's Paula. Paula's a local. Did you get everything out of your garden yet, Paula? Okay, so motivation. You're going to be first on the list. Okay. Move blockages. surrounding, moving out. And having peace. Okay. Yes, I believe it, Paula. Everything has been doing wonderful. Oh, and there's Anne Marie. I haven't seen you in forever, Anne Marie, so I hope you're well. Okay, so Paula, courage and confidence. Joni needs some skin healing. "22 degrees. Brr. And where are you at?" Because on the chat, it just lists you as Facebook user. Oh, and Valerie's in Arkansas. Wow. It's sort of interesting. Facebook is not giving me names on my comments that I see, because what I see is YouTube and Facebook grouped together, and then it's on the screen that you see, but it's not on for very long. So I'm going to have some trouble with names, guys. So, because if I don't get you the exact second that you posted, it goes away. And then if you're on Facebook, I don't have your names. All right, so let's see. So I've got motivation. I've got Paula, Joni, welcome, Marianne, being new. We do individual and group healing, Marianne. So if you're comfortable, put out what you want to see. So Valerie, I see your tiny little profile picture and your comment, but it only stays on the screen a short time. On my private screen where I see everybody, instead of having Facebook information, it just says Facebook user. List anything. So that's a little different. Usually it has everyone, so I can scroll back and forth and see everyone's names. So I'm going to need some help from you guys just to make sure I don't miss everything. Oh, and there's Marina. Haven't seen you in a little while, Marina. I hope things are good. Okay. Marianne needs back and stomach. And as soon as I think I've got everybody down. And Valerie, was yours calm and letting go? Was that it? I wrote your name down, and by the time I got back, the main screen with your name was blank. Calm and letting go. I'll have to see. You know, when I did this every week, it was a little easier if there were updates. Then I would sort of figure it out. Yeah, but you know, Facebook is not always the best. Okay, thanks for confirming, Valerie. Oh, Gina, that's helpful to put your name with your comments, so that way I can see it if I don't write down everything. Okay, so Nancy, disconnect from ancestor ADHD. Okay, Gina, blockages. Yep, I understand, Gina. Self-healing is the hardest part for me too. I'm not very good at self-healing. I feel I'm excellent at other people, but there's enough blockages that we're not meant to see. So it does require that I have friends work on me. Blockages. All right. And neuropathy. Okay. So because my main screen that keeps the names has blocked out Facebook usernames, who wrote, I need to work on self-healing? Because otherwise I think I've got everyone else. So I've got Motivation, Paula, Joni, Valerie, Marina, Marianne, Nancy, Gina, and Anne. And then whoever wrote self-healing too. And then we'll get sort of a late start with this little technology glitch. So anybody visiting here on Facebook, if you put a comment in, can you type your first name? So because I can see you on the screen as Amy, but that goes away after a very short time. And so on the back system, it just says Facebook user, and then it says hi. And luckily I was watching the screen, so I saw that was Amy. But now that it dropped off the screen, it doesn't let me know. So who was it that wanted to work on self-healing also? So then we can get started. I just need to know that. So someone on Facebook who said they want to work on self-healing too. All right, so there's Robin. Thank you for putting your name in, because it's just sort of, well, it's a Facebook issue, I'm sure. Something changed and the system I use. Oh, that was you, Anne-Marie. Wonderful. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to do a healing pulse. And this is a form of energy work. This is my own personal creation, but it works really fabulous from a distance. And it works well on physical issues. But if you also have emotional things going on, thank you, Nancy, for putting that down with your name. We'll see, because you would also put ancestor ADHD. So I'll see what comes up first to work on. Because typically we do one issue per person unless things are very quiet. Amy, self-healing too. Okay. Quite a nice list. So thank you. So let's start with the healing pulse. So think about, do you have something physical going on that you want to send healing energy to, or do you have something emotional? If it's emotional, think about, where does that live? So do you have issues with anxiety? Where does that live? For me, anxiety is sort of in the pit of my stomach. But some people, maybe their heart beats really fast, or their throat gets sort of tight, or mouth gets dry, or maybe their brain is just so anxious. So wherever you feel that energy, that's where you want to focus on. And so with this, I want you to rub your hands together and place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. And then imagine my hands on yours. So that's the most important part. And then allow that energy to flow. So you're getting your own personal healing frequencies plus mine. And so then just imagine with each breath in, the healing will go a little deeper. But also with each breath out, you are releasing the energies that maybe they don't belong, maybe they're not even yours, or maybe they're just ready to be done and released. So just breathe in deep and just imagine that healing energy going further, deeper, allowing. Just let it move and shift things for you. Good timing, Baja Girl. We're just doing a healing pulse, so jump right in. Okay, so that was our first healing pulse. As always, let me know how you did, what you felt, because I'd love to hear that. And we will do 2 more of these, and then we usually end the night with aura strengthening, just because I think that's sort of important for you to have your aura be strong, which really helps reduce negativity. So, well, Francine, that sounds wonderful, though, but thank you for letting us know. You'll have to watch the replay. So sometimes even on the replay, there are things that really resonate. So like if I'm working on helping somebody release and I say something or someone works on an issue that's also yours, really pay attention, because sometimes there's a reason you hear certain things or you come at it exactly the right time. Wonderful, Sherry. Love hearing that there was movement and things shifting. So oftentimes that'll mean that things are releasing. So motivation is going to go first. Where'd my sheets go? So this is sort of similar to work by Dr. Bradley Nelson with the emotion code. So if you've read that book or gone through his program, it's a fabulous program. It's gotten rather expensive, but the book can really walk you through just the basics. Wonderful, Gina. Thank you for sharing that. Anne felt some relief too. Good. I love that. All right. So I'm going to see what tool I'm going to use. I've got quite a few different lists of emotions. Like I've got trauma. There's one that sometimes it's inherited, but sometimes it's not. And I've got emotion, sensation, and behaviors. Then I've got negative. Wonderful motivation. Yes, I've been certified in it maybe 10 years. And I did think about doing the certification for the body code, but the prices just kept going up. And I just, there are other things I wanted to spend the money on. So, but I use the body code quite a bit too. But it's also led me to use other tools too. So with this, okay, I'm going to use the negative emotion list, and then I'm probably going to use the trauma list, and we'll see. Sometimes just things come up. So motivation wants to work on moving blockages, surrounding moving out and having peace. And so with this, I typically are looking for a trapped emotion, and usually it's tied to an event. And so generally I'll give you an age and the emotion, and oftentimes if you think back, sometimes you'll know exactly when this happened, or maybe there was a time period where you were going through some things and this connects. So motivation, there was a time when you felt deprived. Let me get an age, and I'm hoping this resonates with you. And ages are the hardest thing. So usually it's plus or minus a year. I'm getting like 13. Oh, that's a tough age too. So somewhere 12, 13, 14 motivation, you felt deprived. And so that's playing a role in what's going on now. It makes you more sensitive. So for those of you who are healers, work with me on releasing. It used to be I would just go ahead and release and not really say anything. But I have found that sometimes there's some residual energies that you can really help. Wow, so you couldn't really be as much of a kid as you were. All right, so let's release it. So releasing and removing, and then also I fill any voids created with the healing pulse energy. And so that released. All right, so Paula is next. Paula wants to work on courage and confidence. And we're going to use, let's see, we're going to use the trauma list. All right, so I'm getting anguish. Let me get an age for Paula. You are very welcome, motivation. 26, Paula. So somewhere 25, 26, 27, there was some anguish, something going on. And that's playing a role in holding back your courage and confidence. So let's get rid of the anguish. So I'm getting that released. All right, Joni. Joni wants to work on skin healing. So let's see. I'm going to go back to my negative emotions list. And this list has like 400 on it. So and I'm getting the word naive, but it was a negative. There was something negative around it. Let me get an age, and maybe this will make more sense, Joni. But of course, you would have this because I'm getting this is from around like age 7. So of course you were naive. You were 7. Or maybe you were 6 or 8, because plus or minus a year. So 6, 7, 8. But there was something in here that was a negative event for you. So let's release this energy, Joni. So focusing on the energy of the event. Okay, so I'm getting that released. I'm just going to glance and see, because I made this commercial video. It's supposed to be downloading so that I could play it for you. It doesn't appear like it's doing very good. All right, so Valerie. Valerie is next, and she wants to work on being calm and letting go. So I guess that means, Valerie, you've got can do to ease the intensity of that energy. I'm getting, there was a time when you were thwarted. So let me get an age and see if this makes sense to you. And so I'm getting somewhere around 21. So somewhere 20, 21, 22, you were thwarted. So does that ring a bell, Valerie? So welcome. If you're chatting on Facebook, if you could put your first name before you write, the system is not allowing me to see names on my back system. So unless I catch you right away on the main screen, if I scroll through it, it just says Facebook user on what I'm seeing. Whoever said sorry, I'm late. All right, so let's release the event that caused Valerie to feel extra sensitive to being thwarted. So we're going to release and remove that energy. So releasing and removing. Okay, so that released. Now Marina is next. Thank you, Valerie. So that rings a bell. Oh, and it was Mary, because that showed up on the screen. Things must be a little delayed. And there's Pamela, welcome. And if you hear something, that's Dexter. I'll tell you, sometimes the little dogs look at each other and just growl. Dexter, come here. Say hello to people. He's wearing his little green shirt. You're okay. I know. Okay. Duncan was looking at him cross-eyed, so he took it personally, I guess. You're very welcome, Valerie. Okay, so Marina is next. And most of the time when I talk to Marina, she's in Croatia, but I haven't talked to her in a while. So I'm hoping you're somewhere new and exciting, Marina. So let's see what I'm going to use for Marina. Okay, so I'm going to use something on here. Okay. Okay, so Mary and the Black Shadow. Okay. Dexter, stop. Hold on, let me just... Come here, Duncan. Duncan's got his shirt on too. Duncan doesn't usually wear shirts because he's got a lot more hair than Dexter. Yes. But he brought it to me this morning. Okay. Now, can you be quiet? Okay. So Marina. So I'm getting narrow-minded. Let me get an age for you, Marina. So this doesn't necessarily mean it was you. It typically means, if it's not you, it means someone close to you. But let me get an age, and then it usually will be more clear. All right, so Pamela, right hip. Okay. All right, so narrow-minded. 16, Marina. So somewhere 15, 16, 17. There was someone, so I'm not getting this as you, especially at that age. So someone around you was narrow-minded, and it's the energy has kept with you. Okay. So let's release that. Okay, so I'm getting that released. And the voids have been filled. All right, next is Marianne. And she's got back and stomach. So let's see, are they related? No. So do we need to work on back? Okay, so we're going to work on your back because that's more important right now. Duncan, sit down. Getting indecision. So let's see what age indecision was at, because it makes me wonder if there was an event. You are welcome, Marina. That either you or someone around you was very indecisive. So let's see what age this is. Getting like around age 23. So somewhere 22, 23, 24, there was some type of event that, let's see, were you indecisive? No, someone around you was, and this affected you. So let's release and remove that. So it did release. Let's do our second healing pulse. So for those of you who were here for the first healing pulse, think about, do you want to keep sending it to the same place? And those of you who were new, okay, so Baha, let me add that. Okay, so I've added to the list. So when we come back from the healing pulse, yes, and with this, Joni, things from past lives can affect you too. And so when you have sort of the same issue that triggers you on a regular basis, it makes you more sensitive to it. And so that's why the older you get, if you don't deal with things, sometimes it really affects your health, both your physical health and your mental health. So it's really important to, work on yourself either through your own self-healing or using a healer like me or doing counseling. And some people use all of the above just to get at all the different layers. So, all right, so let's do our second healing pulse. So rub your hands together. Place your hands where you want to receive the energy. Imagine my hands on yours. Be open and allowing the healing to happen. And just breathe it in. Open and allowing. The deeper the breathing, the deeper the healing, as some say. So as you breathe in, imagine the healing going a little deeper with each breath. As you release, imagine the healing, imagine you release what doesn't belong, maybe was what isn't yours. Oh, we have a rare appearance tonight. So this is Rudy, my 16-year-old. He doesn't usually come on camera. But Rudy's a healer kitty. Huh, Rudy? Such a good kitty. So, just imagine that energy flowing, allowing. Just breathe that in, release, and let things go. Cherry. Clear cataracts. Okay, so that was our second healing pulse. Generally, we do 3. Nancy is next. So let me see. So Nancy, we're going to work on the self-healing. That comes up as a bigger priority than the ADHD. All right, so let's see what list I'm going to use. So I'm getting the word deserted. So let's see if there's an age that connects and that resonates with you. Getting like 14. So somewhere 13, 14, 15. There was something going on that you felt deserted, Nancy. So let's release that. And especially you guys with that are healers, imagine it releasing 100% with your support. And even those of you who don't have healing in your background, if you lend support and affirmation that it's what needs to release is being released, it encourages that to clear. So releasing and removing the energy of being deserted. So I'm getting that did release. Okay, Gina's next. And let me see. So I've got Gina, Anne Marie, and Robin. And then we're about halfway through my list. So I just want to make sure that if I don't say your name, especially with the weird glitchy Facebook thing, because I don't want to miss someone. So you guys will have to help me. All right, so Gina, let's see if there's I am getting there's an underlying reason for the blockages. And it just has the word unhappy. So let's get an age and see. So this sounds like a time in your life where things weren't going very well. So let's get an age for this. So you were like 19. So 18, 19, 20, somewhere in there, you were just extremely unhappy. So let's release the energy of that. And with this, imagine, Gina, as we release the energy of unhappiness, imagine that the blockages are just gone and things start to flow again. Wonderful. Getting that released. Next, we've got Anne who wants to work on neuropathy. This is a new one I don't recall coming up before, and it says scapegoat. So it's like, was Anne the scapegoat? Or was it someone else? No, you got the blame for something. Thank you, Gina. All right, so let's get an age for Anne. And I'm getting age 20. So somewhere 19, 20, 21. Or you got the blame for something, and it was pretty bogus. So let's release that. And Pam, I do have you down for your right hip. So I'll go through everyone I've got left on my list, just because with the system, and I pay a online group to help me stream to multiple places at the same time. And it's actually been sort of a while since there were technical problems. I used to have technical issues on a very regular basis. So it's nice that I'm paying for something that works better than it used to. So, and I've released that energy. You have to let me know what it felt like when it left, because I'm hoping it made you feel better. All right, Anne-Marie, you are next. Anne-Marie wants to work on self-healing. So let's see. Use my negative emotion list. You are welcome, Pamela. All right, Anne-Marie, depressed. Let's see what age this is. Thank you, Anne. All right. So Anne-Marie, I'm getting like around age 34. So somewhere 33, 34, 35. There was a time when, and I better check this because this could be someone else's depression too. But with this instance, I'm getting this was yours. So I'm sorry about that. But let's release the trapped energy from that time period. So, and when you have trapped things and they keep layering and layering, it makes you so much more sensitive. So hopefully this helps take the edge off if you have any times where you do feel depressed, because depression can be situational. It can be hormonal, and so many things that compile to increase your depression. So let's get rid of this layer, Anne-Marie. So work on helping me release that for you. Okay, that did release. All right, so next I've got Robin, then Amy, Mary, Pamela, Baha, and Sherry. And that's the end of my list. So, so if you had posted something and I don't have you and I didn't get to your name before, please repost, just because of the weird things going on with Facebook. And some of the things have been harder for me just to scroll back, just because it's not as clear as it usually is. All right, so Robin wants to work on abandonment. Let's see what comes up for that for Robin. This is very interesting. Let me get an age for this. So I'm getting around age 27, and it's a sense of injustice, Robin. So somewhere 26, 27, 28. So let's release this sense of injustice, especially since it's not serving you. It brings everything down. So let's release it. And it might be important, but it's not important enough to dwell within you and cause other problems. So let's release this to be just more of a surface issue for you. So we're going to release and remove sense of injustice. Okay, so that did release. And I'm hoping you had good luck with that too. Lots of healers here tonight. All right, Amy. Amy wants to work on improving self-healing. And I'm getting the energy of being overwhelmed is playing a role in limiting your self-healing. So let me get an age on being overwhelmed. And I think we'll do Mary, and then I'm going to actually do my little commercial thing. It's like 1 minute and 56 seconds. So it's not terrible. It could be better, but considering I haven't done a commercial in over a year, I think it's okay. I'm getting like age 15, Amy. So 14, 15, 16, something going on. It wasn't necessarily school, but more family related things. So let's release and remove that energy from back then of being just overwhelmed. Okay, so I'm getting that released. Okay, so let's see if I can get my commercial to play. Otherwise, yeah. Okay, so let's see if this works. Share video. And as I said, 1 minute and 56. Okay, so where is it? Ooh, it might work. Welcome to tonight's Healing by Summer commercial. If you enjoyed tonight's show, please feel free to donate to me and support me by buymeacoffee.com/healingbysummer. It's greatly appreciated. I will be offering an online Reiki training, and it's using Usui Holy Fire Reiki, November 23rd and 24th. Reach out with questions. This is something new I'm trying during the month of October. There will be several opportunities each week to sign up. It's a private group mini healing, a maximum of 6 people via Zoom. Cost is $25 per person, and the sessions would be for you or for your pet. I will be using any tool I generally use during private sessions, versus just the simple sessions I use on the mini healings on the first. Would you rather have a private individual session with me in person or through Zoom? Just book a session now. And if you're a new client, you'll get $25 off your first session. I'm in the process of adding this information to my website and Facebook and YouTube, but you can reach out for me below or schedule a free online consultation via Zoom on my website. My website is csummerjones.com, and it's the initial C, Summer Jones, and just click. Okay, so there's a glitch at the end, but a lot of different offerings and some new things I'm trying out, especially the group healing that there's up to 6 people maximum in a group. I use basically any tool that I would normally in a private session. Like tonight, I focus on just my list of emotions, but with this, pretty much the sky's the limit. I've got about 20 different tools that I typically use, and they oftentimes take more time. But with this, I'm anticipating that the session will go maybe an hour, hour and a half. Each person will be able to address either one issue with 3 different tools or events, or they can do 3 issues with 1 layer of things we're going to clear. So if you would like to book something or have questions, and you can book a free informational session on my website, and that's csummerjones.com, and just click the book now. Otherwise, if you want to message me on Facebook or put a comment in the chat here, and I can reach out to you later. Let me know if you have any questions. Oh, thanks, Anne-Marie. All right, so let's go back. So Mary has this black shadow that's been sort of following her around. So I'm going to just double check and see, is the shadow still there for Mary? I do get yes, Mary. So here's my question. Is there something that's holding the black shadow around Mary? I do get yes. Is it Mary herself that's holding the black shadow? No. Okay, so Mary, it's not you. Is it where Mary lives? Yes. So if Mary were to move, would the shadow go with her? I'm kidding, it would go with you, Mary. So you need to work on shielding more so it doesn't mess with you quite so much. I think it enjoys sort of spooking you a bit. I don't think nice, Anne-Marie. That way you get the best of both. So, Mary, let me know what you think about your black shadow. And I know we chatted about it before. I'll have to see what I wrote down. Okay, Pamela is next. She wants to work on her right hip, which I think we've worked on multiple times, but especially the older you get, oftentimes the more layers you have. Yeah, Mary, we'll have to chat about that. Okay. You are welcome, Mary. Yeah, I'll have to do some more thinking about that. And especially tonight where I'm not really using a lot of tools, sometimes it's sort of limiting. And I do feel that sometimes when you're trying to tap in, especially entities, sometimes they can skew the results. All right, Pamela, I'm getting disappointment. Let me get an age. So I'm getting around age 23. So somewhere 22, 23, 24, Pamela. So let's release and remove that. So releasing and removing that. All right, so Baha. So Baha wants to release and remove the need for ADHD meds. This is a little tricky just because layers make a difference. And you've got quite a few layers. But let's release at least one and see if you notice a difference. See if you feel a little less of it. So I'm getting exasperated. Exasperated. I don't think I've spelled that before. Let's see what age you were, Baha. 9. Wow. So you've been carrying this around a while. So somewhere 8, 9, 10. I can just imagine a little kid, very determined, knew what you wanted. You were exacerbated. So let's release the energy of that because somehow that's playing a role. That 9-year-old releasing and removing. All right, that released. Next, Sherry wants to work on clearing cataracts. And I think just because cataracts are something that you get when you're older, there are layers for this too. But let's at least get rid of a layer, because if you keep working on the layers, it should lessen the cataracts. Oh, this is interesting. Repressed aggression. Okay, let's see how old you were. "29." So Sherry, sometime 28, 29, 30. Is this repressed aggression yours? No. But it was someone around you that was close enough that this energy affected you. And so you're still carrying this energy around. So let's have you release it, because this is added to your cataracts. So releasing and removing repressed aggression and how it's affected Sherry. So I'm just looking through. I know Sissy came in and said hello. Sissy, did you have anything you want to work on? Oh, and Sherry asked about stars. So I do have, my account does show stars. You know, when it first came out, I thought it was sort of cool, but nobody really used it. But I do appreciate you sending that. So Pamela, I'm thinking it's multiple things. So, and normally things happen in layers. So like disappointment is a layer. If you have other emotional things, they're usually a layer. So those of you who have like emotion code in your background are more familiar. If you're not familiar with healing, the concept behind it is normally your body will process and release an emotion that you're experiencing. But sometimes due to a traumatic event or who knows why, we hang on to the energy of the emotion. And sometimes there's not really a good reason for hanging on to an emotion. But wherever that emotion lodges, it causes that part of your body not to function as it should. And also with your hip, I don't have it with me, that spiritual reasons for things. I'd be curious, and I don't have the book with me. It's out in my office. I have a tiny house, which has my tiny office in it. And that's where my spiritual meanings book is. But I think sometimes they split out body parts between right and left, and I can't remember for this one. But that I'd be curious to see what comes up with that. So, all right. So I think, does anyone have any other questions, or did I miss anybody? Because I did get through my list. Anybody have any questions about my little commercial? So I'm thinking, so the sort of private mini healings on Zoom, I'm probably going to do a couple times a week. You will need to sign up and pay for it in advance. It's $25, but at the most there will be 6 people. On my end, it didn't stop. So not sure what's going on with that, unless it's on Mary's end. So, but let's do our aura strengthening. So the importance of aura strengthening is that it helps repel negativity. And so a strong aura will really protect you, especially. Ooh, now all the comments went through. Let's just see. All right. Definitely something funky is going on. Just seeing if I missed anything. So when the screen filled up with all the comments, I did see someone ask me if I have some times. And I'm thinking therefore they're asking about the group healings. And I'll probably do a mix of weekday and weekend, morning and evening, just to see what works best for people. Sure, I will put that. So there's my website. I'm putting it in chat. And there's a book now button. And if you just want to check in and do a free consultation just to see what else I do, and do that. Otherwise, book an integrated healing session. I also do hypnosis with a focus on past life regression. Although one of the other new little things that I'm working on is to combine regular hypnosis and connecting to the higher self using hypnosis and asking specific questions about health and other things. You know, if you've been working on certain things and nothing seems to happen, for instance, if you've got a health issue, you know, we can go to the higher self and see, are there certain things that are causing this, and focus on that. And then I'll give you a recording for hypnosis that has a focus on health, or I've been experimenting with weight loss and weight maintenance. And so I'm still in the processing stage of figuring out if that's going to help people. And then the most challenging part, though, is organizing it and figuring out how much to charge. All right, so I've got one more person we're going to help, and then we'll do the aura strengthening. So let's see. So Shannon, let me put you in my book. Sorry, you're not doing so good. Okay. All right, so let's see what tool I'm going to use. So I'm getting the energy of grief. Shannon, let me get an age. Yes, Gina, for me, that's my biggest challenge. So the hypnosis sessions are sort of magical. So Shannon, I mean, I'm going to get an age for you of when there was an event around grief that was part of this layer of one of the causes. Because typically as you get older, if you don't work on things and heal things, things pile up. So let's see. I'm getting something around age 28. So somewhere 27, 28, 29, grief. And so it was some type of event where you felt a loss. And so it doesn't necessarily mean death, although it could, but it could also mean like a job loss, a divorce, a friendship ending, things like that, where you just felt this tremendous sadness and loss. So let's go ahead and release this energy. So in being 54, there's probably quite a few layers that need to be released. But I'm hoping that this can take the edge off, Shannon. But let me know if that resonated with you. So let's do the aura strengthening. So with this, I recommend you work with your own healing frequencies. Although if you're not quite comfortable using your own frequencies, feel free to pull in the healing pulse frequencies. So I want you to rub your hands together. You are welcome, Shannon. And then start beaming to your aura. And so imagine that your aura is getting thicker and stronger, allowing the energy that is negative not to impact you quite so much. But also, when you think about your aura and you've got the outer edge, think about what you want to fill up inside the aura. Many of you tonight need healing and health and positivity. So what do you need most in your life? Imagine that within you, and you're surrounding yourself with it. And so keep beaming. And just allow. Okay, so that was it for tonight. I'll be around for a few moments if you've got questions. otherwise, I hope to see you next month on the 1st, or if you book a session or show up for one of my group sessions. But so good that you were here. Everyone's so quiet. So next month, my mini healing, it's on Friday, November 1st. And same time, we're still on daylight savings, so it'll be 7 Central Daylight Time. Yes, I'm sorry, Sirius. We're just finishing up. We started like an hour and 15 minutes ago. I'm sorry. I'm just taking questions. Thank you, Gina. That's very nice. Good night, Marina. Wow, Shannon. I hope that helps a little bit at least. Especially if you can get rid of the energies from big events that have caused you some emotional trauma. You are welcome, Nancy. Thank you. Yes, for all the people that are here tonight, especially the new people. I do this every month. During COVID, I did it every week, which is how I got to this being show 161. So like after doing this for 3 years, I switched to once a month. Glad you're here, Donna. You're very welcome. Good night, Joni. Good night, Shannon. I understand, Gina. I'm 59, so it definitely takes a lot of effort because especially when you're working on yourself, not everything will be obvious. And sometimes we're not meant to see everything. So it's always good to have friends that heal, or you pay another. Good night, Anne. Good night, Robin. Well, of course, all the pets have gone to sleep and it's quiet. But I wish everyone all the best. Reach out if you need anything. Serious, maybe, but I think it's doubtful. There are times where I don't feel as much, and I think part of it is I'm distracted, or I'm not tuned in, or maybe I didn't do the prep work like I should. Don't always think it's a block. Maybe it's just timing. And the more you practice, the easier it is to feel. So if you're not doing it the regular self-care, try and find some, Reiki shares. There's enough people that do them for free that you should be able to get on at least a few of them. The one that I host, I pretty much just do for my students. So, but glad you've got that in your background. It's a really fabulous basis for healing to learn Reiki. And many people go on to other things, but there's also many that Reiki is all that they need, and that's okay. Oh, and thank you for the good nights for the babies and Rudy. So Have a good night, and I hope tonight was helpful to you.